So the time has finally come for me to replace my old trusty helmet, which is about 5 years old, with a fancy new one. But the whole process can be a little bit intimidating. So today I want to share with you my buying experience and my first sort of impression or interaction with the Shark Carbon Spartan. So stick around until the end, where I'll show you the features that I didn't know I needed until I had them. Let's go. So on my left here I've got my Shark Squall. This has been a helmet for me for about 5 years. It's been amazing. It's worn really well. Everything still works. This has the light feature where it does its little lights in the back and in the front. Everything still works. I was really impressed with the brand. And that's what sort of pushed me in the direction of going for Shark again, but a sort of higher tiered helmet. So what's the difference and why did I go for this? Well, first things first, a helmet should be replaced about every 5 or so years. This is what the manufacturers recommend, and I personally try to stick to that. So I went with Shark for one reason in particular. Their value to price point is actually very impressive. You get a lot of value in the helmet for a decent enough price point, and yes, you can push the tier and spend a bit more, but it might not be necessary for your needs. So the first big differences between these two helmets is that on my left here, the Shark Squall is a polycarbonate shell, and the Shark Spartan Carbon is a carbon composite shell, which reacts a little bit differently and crashes. Your polycarbonates tend to dent in and crack, whereas your carbons or your fiberglass tend to start denting in, but then dissipate the energy as the accident happens. So they're a little bit safer. Now I don't want to go into too much detail in terms of safety. Whenever you're buying a helmet, do your research, make sure it's to the spec that you want in terms of safety, but typically what you get is what you pay for. It's the only sort of time that I do agree with that. You spend a little bit more, you're going to get a little bit more. But let's hop into some other features that I find fantastic. So the first feature that I really love about the Shark Spartan Carbon is its weight. It comes in about 200 grams, lighter than my first helmet, which is just fantastic, especially considering I ride almost every day. This is awesome. So excluding the fact that I really love the look of the carbon fiber, it is a little bit lighter, but they do share some similar features, and it does have some different features which are also great. Okay, so what features are important for me as a commuter? Well, first things first, the sun visor. Let's get both of these open just so I can show you. The Spartan Carbon has a lever on the top, drops down your sun visor, and the Squall has a sun visor that just flicks on the side. So personally, I actually prefer the side mechanism, where it's just a little bit easier to access than going above your head. But I don't mind the system on the carbon, and it's something that I typically only put down when I'm cruising. When it's stop-go traffic, you still run the risk of fogging up that inner visor. So the next feature that I really love from Shark is that they use a pinlock ready visor. This means you can put an insert on the inside of your visor for anti-fogging, for example, which works a treat. It comes with it in the box. I always put it in, and it's worked really, really well over the years. On my original one, it's still the original visor, and it's still held up. Bugs, stones, it's been good. So now this is where the two helmets start to get a little bit different. My Shark Squall over here is not comms ready. It wasn't really a thing at the time. I know the newer Sharks do come with it, even at your sort of mid-level, but the Shark Spartan Carbon comes with comms recesses, so you can actually just quickly install your comms system in the side without it interfering with your ears. It was something I found very distracting initially. I used to put my helmet on. If a little speaker had moved or something like that, it would be quite uncomfortable. Those days are gone. It just goes into its two little recesses, the mic swings right in the front, and it's just easy to use. That I love. So the final feature I want to talk about on the new helmet versus the old helmet is the ventilation. It feels like, even though the vents look very similar, it feels like the Shark Spartan Carbon just deals with a little bit of airflow a little bit better. Keeping my head cool, granted, it is winter now, but I did a little comparison just to put both on, ride with both, and just see the difference. And definitely ventilation is a little bit better on the Spartan Carbon. Just before I go to some cleaning tips, I just wanted to mention that it's always worth getting some good quality gear. Remember, your gear can go to any motorcycle, and the motorcycles will change over time, but at least you got good quality stuff from the get-go. For example, my first bike cost about the same amount as what I initially spent on gear. I know it was a big outlay at the time. However, here we are 5 years later, still got the helmet and it's still going strong. Still got the jacket as well, and the gloves, by the way. The gloves seem to wear out a little bit quicker. The other two, still good. So let's get to some cleaning. So first things first, rather than remove your liner all the time, I got myself an interior cleaner. This you just spray inside the helmet, let it dry overnight, you're good to go. However, in terms of visors, things like that, especially with the, whoopsies, you can just remove your visor, drop it in the sink, give it a good clean. What popped out there was actually the pin lock. So this is that little insert. It's easy enough to just pop there and pop it in, ready for next use. Just a quick one, if you guys enjoy watching bike reviews, definitely check out the channel link below, Discovering Bikes South Africa. They do local reviews on local bikes. It's David, Miguel and Tian. They've got an awesome channel, definitely go check them out and tell them I sent you. Let's get back to it. So the final thing you can obviously do is remove all your inner liners, give them a good clean, let them dry overnight, put them back in. I hope this video was helpful for you guys. If it was, please give me a thumbs up, drop a comment below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace!